I'm Kelly Mitchell, and this is BreveTV, Uncorked, Women on Wine, Business, and Evolution, sharing rich conversation to enlighten, challenge, and inspire the busiest people on Earth. My co-host, Debra Trappen. Welcome to the show, Debra.
Great to be here as always, Kel. Awesome to see you.
Fabulous to have you here, darling. We will be in the stream at 6 p.m. Pacific time each and every Wednesday, playing the video at brevetv.com/live. So make sure and show up. Let us know what's in your glass, as we'll be telling you in just a moment. Salud! Okay, we begin with a quote this episode from Eckhart Tolle. Time isn't precious at all, because it's an illusion. What you perceive as precious is not time, but the one point that is out of time, the now. That is precious indeed. The more you are focused on time, past, present, and future, the more you miss the now, the most precious thing there is. And with that, we open episode 73, part 2 of C'est la vie, 5 more ways, and maybe 10, to live happiness as a way of life. So, Debra, I would love to hear what's in your glass today. And audience, also, we want to find out what's in your glass today. So let us know in the tweet stream using #BreveTV. Debra?
Well, of course you're going to really love where I'm drinking from, because it is Healdsburg, California, in Sonoma County.
Oh my God, I love Healdsburg.
I know, you were just saying that a few episodes ago. So when I found this, I actually picked this up at Trader Joe's. It's called Earthstone, and you see this really gorgeous label. And what I love about this place is they are like lean, mean, and green. It is a green vineyard. And this is their 2013 Sauv Blanc. It's delicious. It's very tropical, but it's got a really good acidity to it, so it's not super sweet, which is great. So it is just a lot of fun. And, of course, it's great for the planet, how they grow their wine. So, I mean, come on, drink more. What's in yours?
Absolutely. Cheers to you. Now, you see, I've got my heavy-duty industrial glass today, purchased for me by my husband. I was going to, because it's a little bit heavy and we're moving, I was going to discard it because I didn't think it was for my husband and it was heavy, and they're charging us by the pound to cross the ocean. So I'm glad I have it. I think if I drop it on the ground, it still won't break. It's probably impossible to break. But in my glass, I have Lohr Riverstone. This is a 2012 Arroyo Socco Monterey Chardonnay, and it seems like the tropics are part of the theme of the show, because this also has a very tropical and stone fruit essences. It's got a really rich feel on the tongue and between the cheeks, and it's balanced as well. So the acidity is just right, and there's toasted vanilla notes. So chicken and fish, it's not as green as yours is. I absolutely love the label. Let me show you the Lohr label. This is something that you can find very easily in many places.
You are so funny. I love it. I love that we've got the tropics happening. That's awesome. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? C'est la vie?
The C'est la vie thing, you know, so we did this last episode, not the exact last episode, but a recent episode. And first of all, the theme is, because we love all things French, we had to name this C'est la vie. It means that's life. And in life, we're always getting thrown curves, and it's really how we respond to the curves that determines the outcome of, you know, our positivity, our joyfulness, our, you know, I don't want to say acceptance from others, because I don't think acceptance from others is the goal. I think enriching your life and the lives of others is the goal. So helping enrich each other and each other's lives, and making sure that the choices we make in the approaches to what we're feeling, experiencing, or living with are ones that can help dictate our levels of happiness and move the needle up. So, so that's what we're talking about today. So I said 5 reasons, and sometimes we go over, but let's shoot for 5.
Let's shoot for 5. Yeah.
Okay.
How about I go first?
You may go first.
I love that you kind of set me up a little bit with this, because you talked about not worrying so much about what others accepting you. And so my first one is accepting yourself. And this, part of the key to happiness and part of the key to being, I think that when you're happy, you're actually able to do all of those things that you mentioned at the beginning of the show. Take care of others, make the planet a better place, add more joy. But you yourself have to actually be happy. And so accepting yourself, realizing no one's perfect, and that we need to stop the comparison. I think I think most people I know battle not comparing ourselves. And so it is every time I do it, I go, oh, why did I do that? Because of course it drains my happiness, because I go down a negative place. How about you?
You absolutely can. I mean, you can definitely take yourself into a negative place, and I think the important thing is to keep things in context. It's just so easy. I mean, if you look at the 2 choices, it's really easier to go down the negative path, and it's so funny. This is going to segue into my number 1, which is our number 2. But before I do that, what is our word for the show that we need to have a sip by?
Happiness.
Happiness. Oh, we have 2 happinesses. Excuse us for just a moment. Cheers.
You are so funny. We almost forgot the word. Sorry.
We almost forgot the word. So the rule is, the word is happiness. If we say the word happiness, you have to have a drink for happiness. I mean, not for happiness.
Gosh, is addicted to saying the word of the day, just so everybody knows right now. Anybody listening, get ready.
Get ready, take a sip. Okay, so the emotion that you gravitate towards determines the outcome of how you're going to feel, oftentimes for hours. It could be the entire day, and sometimes, if you really get down and dirty and ugly about it, the whole week. And life is short. So it's like, instead of looking at things from the standpoint of, oh, poor me, or why me, stop thinking about things that way. And we can do a flip it. This is a flip it. It's, instead of looking at why me, think about what's next, right? You don't want to get caught up in rehashing things that have already occurred. If the end has occurred, then it's time to assess, evaluate, and move the heck on.
Amen.
Get on to the next task. Right. So what's next? Always think, when negative things happen, what's next? That should be a mantra.
I love that. That rolls great into our number 3, which, this is something that it is pervasive in us humans. We love to talk about other people, because I think it allows us to get out of thinking about ourselves.
Yes.
So I think if we can flip it and say, one of the keys to happiness.
Oh, I almost missed that. Thank you for pointing that out.
One of the keys to happiness is speaking well of others. It's so easy to hang around the water cooler and dish and talk negatively about how people aren't doing it the right way, or how people are doing, something absolutely contrary to what you think is the right thing. And it feels good in that. The person you're talking about, if they know that you're talking about them in some way, shape, or form, doesn't feel good. And I don't know about you, but the times in my life where I've gossiped, where I've actually kind of fallen into the negative dishing, when I leave and I recap it, I feel horrible inside. I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I allow myself to kind of fall into that? Everyone else is talking about that person. I should add something to the conversation, instead of standing strong and saying, yeah, that's really, we've got better things to talk about. Small minds talk about other people.
Well, you know, and I want to say this happened maybe a year and a half ago. I actually fell into that, and I kind of feel in retrospect it was baiting me. I fell into the trap. The stories were big, they were gory, they were about people that I had other people in common with, and I shared it. You know, and it's almost like gasoline when you do this, because it ignites and then you lose control and you don't know like what negative path that can take. And I think, I mean, I still feel guilt over sharing these things, you know, at a later or at the time I look back and go, how could I do that? It makes me sick to my stomach now. So on a good note, I've learned and I'm moving on, and I'm really being careful about how to approach that in the future. But that isn't the key to happiness, talking about others. The key to happiness is lifting each other up and lifting others up who are doing amazing things, who deserve it, or lifting somebody up who's struggling, that needs that little extra light in their life. That's happiness.
You've said happiness 3 times, so while you're taking your 3 drinks, I am going to share just real quick. I think I love that story that you just shared, and I actually remember that. And I remember we were together a little bit later in the day, and I remember the regret. I remember you just sharing with me like, oh, like I know it was important for me to be able to share something, but maybe not as much as I shared. And I think that one of the things that you did that I really appreciated was you basically said, you know what, I'm going to let them know that that really wasn't my best moment. And I think that that's something that shows your character. That shows your true character. You know, after you've had a glass of wine or two and you're having a conversation with someone and something is said that lights you up, sometimes you spill more than you should. And so I think it's, you know, you show your character and coming back and saying, I shared too much. It wasn't my finest moment. I would appreciate your grace and forgiveness on that and just move forward. You know, you can't do anything about it. But I think that that really showed your character in that situation.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm letting go of all the negative.
So good. It makes you feel so happy and filled with happiness.
Totally. Cheers.
Cheers.
To happiness. Everybody has to have a sip. Okay.
Okay, so we have accepting ourselves, talking positively of others, no more poor me. What else you got in there, sister?
Okay, when everything goes sideways, and we're not talking the wine movie, although there could be some common elements of that, stop blaming others, or don't even start, better yet. So, quick story about my morning today, which was very frazzled. I was supposed to do an interview on another Lens show that was live before an audience of 650 people. And we had the time zones wrong. So I thought it was 9:30 p.m. tonight, when in reality, it was 1:30 a.m. this morning. Now, had I assessed that or reconfirmed properly, I would have probably said no to the 1:30 in the morning, but I didn't because I thought it was 9:30 at night. But when push came to shove, I couldn't really honestly accept the blame myself because I'm not sure how it happened. I saw what I saw, and I understood that to be the reality. But was I horrified? Absolutely. Was I appalled? Oh my God, and then some. But did I say it was the fault of the person on the other side? Absolutely not, because I honestly don't know. And the other thing is even if it was, how does that serve me or the situation at hand? It doesn't. So I'm going to bring that what's next back to the table for stop blaming others or stop blaming yourself. Just stop blaming. Focus on what's next. You can't do anything about what's happened in the past. So leave it in the past. Figure out, assess, review, evaluate. How can you move forward and make it better? And that brings happiness.
Yay! I love that, totally. And what I love is that, you know, kind of along the same lines of when talking negatively about other people, like blaming other people, it doesn't make you smile. It doesn't make you feel good. And we're talking about why, you know, that's life concept, that we're living this life and we've got one opportunity here. And if we choose happiness and we choose the things that add to that, our lives have a chance to be even more epically successful and prosperous and enjoyable, and we can actually live our purpose and make the impact that we were born to make. So that leads me to our number 5, and that is schedule renewal time. I think that, you know, part of being able to do a lot of these things is directly related to how full our soul tank is. And, you know, if we just go, 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 and we have nothing left, we're not coming at things in the clear. We're coming at them in full-on red mode. And so, you know, I kind of wrote a couple of things that I do for my renewal time. And I actually post about it every once in a while. One of my favorite things is almost every night, and it's not necessarily in the summer because it does get warm here in Seattle, you know, contrary to popular belief, but I try to take a bubble bath and, you know, just light a couple candles and just chill. Just have 30 minutes where there's no husband, no dogs, no phone, and just renew my mind. How about you? What do you do to renew yourself?
Well, what I did this weekend was I got a 1-hour massage, and it was take care of me time. I felt very tense, I was unable to relax, and I was in a beautiful place that I should have been able to relax, and I was like, you know, this is a sign. I think anytime there's a sign of discomfort or the stress level has peaked, you have to look at that renewal aspect of what can you do to feed yourself, to feed your body, to feed your soul, to feed your mind that isn't work related and that dials it down. Because I mean, the quality of life is all about, yeah, it's all about reaching your goals and having successes and finding the joy and happiness. But if that vessel that you call a body is ill-equipped to continue the